Yeah, boy. Only if they could have delayed the IPL auction by at least one season series.
Me know for sure who wouldn't get by.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Raymond and I are here to talk about the just concluded T20 match between India and the West Indies. Ray, how you feel about the match just concluded?
Disappointed, but it's the first game. So hopefully they can rebound and put up a better showing.
So after a 3-2 victory over England in the last T20 series, West Indies going into this first T20 match made one change to the team that won the last match against England. Ralston Chase coming in for Jason Older, and we get to understand that Jason suffered a knock in training. I don't want to call the name of who might be the person who caused that injury, but Raymond, this lineup, you expected great things from them, or should Chase have been that person to come in?
Well, it's surprising to see Chase in it. Chase is really struggling for form, and to have him being included now is probably one of the reasons why the score was what it was. He offered nothing much with the bat, being an all-rounder, and once again he pretty much added to the batting woes of the West Indies. But he for me would be the only inclusion that I wasn't really expecting to have there. Better than just bringing a batsman, a full-on one, because that is the biggest struggle they have.
So India won the toss and sent the West Indies into bat. And West Indies, they struggled from start to end pretty much. King 4 off 5 balls. Myers tried 31 off 24 balls. Puran out there was brought under pressure by some of his partners, 61 off 43. Chase coming at number 4, the new player who replaced Older, batting at number 4, 4 runs off 10 balls. And in that 10-ball innings, Raymond, there were a couple swing and miss, a couple appeals, a couple reviews. It was just a chaotic innings by Chase. He looked out of sort from start to finish, and it was a happy end to see him walk off at 4 off 10 balls for me.
Yeah, Kirk, it disappoints very. You describe it so because to have a batsman out and you're waiting to see the back of him because he's slowing up the game, not very entertaining, and pretty much just looking horrible, giving West Indies a bad rep the way he was batting. I wouldn't say Chase is a super technical person. What he shouldn't be doing is hitting for the boundaries and stuff like that because that makes him look silly, especially when he miss. Running between the wickets should be Chase's opportunity to put up some score and pretty much changing exchanging the strike. That's some of the strength that Chase can bring. But trying to hit sixes and fours, that's not Chase. Push the ball and move between the wickets so you can have some runs on the board, Chase. That's it. Either that or work on a game to get something that makes sense.
I'm not sure if he was trying to do either run between the wicket or hit to the boundary. It was a miserable 10-ball innings, and he put a lot of pressure on Puran, who we know is the one who was hitting for the boundary. But Chase, I thought his role was to rotate the strike and make all up one end and make Puran hit the boundaries. And with the other power batters coming in, it was a simple strategy. Just hold one end and make the man them come in and swing. But clearly he didn't do that. He put a lot of pressure upon Puran as well as the batters to come. And then walked out Powell. I was happy to see Powell walking out. And then within 3 balls, I'm like, oh my God, did Powell just leave him brain at the Caribbean? Because first ball, two, second ball, that ball, third ball, him swing with him eye shot. The only player on the leg side boundary, right in the man neck, literally. Him just give him wicket. I was disappointed again. Powell, why you do it?
Yeah, so that swing, I was laughing to myself and say, what are the odds that the one man on the boundary get that catch? It's almost lotto winnings. But when you have persons play like that and swing like that without any strategy, it never works out. It never works out when somebody don't pay attention to the feeling and pretty much get the shot selection that they want so as to put pressure on the fielding team. No, what you do is find feelers and you make the captain for India look like a genius. The one man he put out a boundary and you find him, he's like, yeah, I have this guy figured. We don't want that, Powell. You, Powell, is the one who watch tapes and understand and say, yo, I have a strategy. It's all up here. Let's get back to that now.
But I understand what he was trying to do, Raymond, because his statement in some conversation previous to this match was saying that average, important these days is strike rate, right? So in this particular innings, he has a very good strike rate, 2 off 3 balls, but in average is a single digit. If he continue like this, I don't know what the mentality is of the player that strike rate is now more important than a very good average.
It's weird to hear him say that because when I look at retirement stats, and especially when I talk about Gale, strike rate is there, but it's mostly average and speak up. In fact, average is the one that puts you into the ranking, whether you're number one or so on the ICC ranking. So I don't know where he gets that from. I don't know if it's his agent, IPL. I don't know. No, well, not agent, but I don't know if it's an IPL person reach out to him and be like, dude, his strike rate need to be up, and then you can get for be, one of those $1 million persons. I don't know if it's that because with the IPL, I didn't see them pick someone like Dawid and persons like that clearly because their average is good. So maybe that's what is clouding his vision. But no, Powell, no. Average, average will be remembered. Strike rate is quickly forgotten because you see the maths. Somebody hits 10 ball, 10 runs off a 12 ball, and strike rate not look too bad. You get the maths. So average clearly is the number that separates you from anybody else.
So we saw Akil Hussein being promoted up the order, Raymond, and we asked for that. He tried. He made 10 off 12 balls. Captain Pollard finally have a double figure innings, 24 off 19. Odean Smith tried at the end 4 off 4. In all, 175, 57 for 7. 4 players in double figures. Extras, one of the leading run getter for the West Indies. But the disappointing part of this, Raymond, and we spoke about this on numerous occasions, when we look at the Indian bowling, right? And we're not even going to focus on how the Indians performed because a score of 157 is under par. But 62 dot balls in an innings where you're facing 120 balls and 51.67% of the balls you face is dot. You score 157 of 58 balls. I don't know in which international cricket or schoolboy cricket or corrigoat cricket where this is an acceptable stats.
No, Kerr, it's clearly not acceptable. And it's almost as if it's either the Indians, bowling extremely well or batting is just that terrible. Of course, it could never be the Indians bowling extremely well because they had 17 extras. So if you even minus that 17 runs, you're looking at almost one, if my maths is correct, 140. That's the kind of run they score off half of the overs allotted, so them start bat from probably pretty much 10 overs in. They start batting, and everything else is gift and that ball. So that is hilarious, and it just speaks to, I heard Simon said it that we have a batting problem, and it speaks to it over and over. Regardless how good your bowlers get, the batting problem continue to show up. Hossein playing, moving up the order. Is his first game there. I have no problem with it. Him only can get better. It shows that he's willing to take on a task because the runs that he put up, first time playing up that position, it was good. Some persons wouldn't take it on and end up, scoring really, really low, but he didn't, and that shows character. And Pollard batting where he did, it shows that he's comfortable right there, and to steady the ship. So I'm all right with the lineup, but believe me, guys, the batting is woeful. I don't know what else needed. I don't know if you need a psychologist. I don't know what it is.
I hear you, and I hear you talking about Simmons, and he did say that in for the English tour of the West Indies that they're going to run more between the wickets. The captain also mentioned that they're going to run more between the wickets. So now I'm wondering if it is it a batting problem or a brain problem, because clearly some of them can bat, but when they go out there, it's a totally different strategy. 62 dot balls in a out of 120 is just not acceptable. Guys out there, you don't need to do better. You can't just a shot in the air and a swing. Play some ball in the gaps and run some runs.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a scoreboard that scoreboard that gives you an idea of your run rate. I'm sure there's a scoreboard that makes you know how far you are behind from your intended target. I'm sure with that scoreboard, you would be able to know that, hey, I need to push the ball to get some runs on the board. So you run between the wicket. I'm sure that's there. So, there's a little break every time the bowler runs up to bowl. There's a little break. So at which point you can start thinking, I don't know what them do if it's resting, but that's where you think and figure out the next strategy after you've seen the scoreboard. So I don't know what is happening. There's a little
That,
break. It's not continuous. It's not like there's overs and you walk and you change. Think, pay attention to the scoreboard, have an idea around the rate and do something about it. I don't know. I don't think it's rocket
exactly.
science.
And then when, of course, when the India batted, they made light work of the chase, 162 for four off 18.5 overs. And surprisingly, West Indies gave away only four extras, which is and the positive coming out of this game is that they gave away four extras. Looking at the bowling performance of the West Indies, though we beat Chase for not doing anything with the bat, he had 2 for 14 of his four overs, 13 dot balls, which was a good turnaround for him in this particular match. So clearly, him should have bat a number 11 and bowl his four overs for 14 runs.
Yeah, Kurt. It's clear that Chase had a good spell with the ball, good economy. Took two wickets. He was really good with the ball, but that's not why he's there on the team only. He's a batsman as well, so he's an all rounder, and it's unfortunate with being an all rounder. He opted not to bat and just say, you know what, I'm just going to bowl today. The truth is, them could have get a bowler for do that. So you were selected as an all-rounder. You can't pick and choose which position you play. The team really need a batsman. So fine, perfect, great with the ball. I give you credit, sir, but the truth is, you really needed to bat today as well. Even in fact, bat more than so much the bowling, if you ask me.
I mean, and clearly we missed the Jason Holder impact based on his performance against England, 15 wickets in the series, and he's missing today. Certainly something that we missed. But looking at the rest of the bowlers, Cattrell, 4 overs for 35 runs, 1 wicket. Shepherd, 3 overs for 24 runs, no wicket. And one thing I want to look at, Raymond, when India was chasing, there was one point when 114 for four, it looked like the West Indies was back in the game. They got rid of the top order batters and they needed a runner ball pretty much to win. As the strategy for the captain Pollard, I saw him using Fabian Allen, Shepherd, and Cottrell in the last set of overs. And one would expect persons like Shepherd to bowl out early, but he was bowling the 19th over when India needed somebody. Why using an inexperienced bowler at the depth when there's so much pressure on them shoulder to bowl, and I see Allen coming on to bowl the 19th?
Yeah, of course, Kurt. That was surprising to me as well. But sometimes, come at the man, come at the hour, or come at the hour, come at the man. Sometimes that happens, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Hopefully, um, Allen and those bowlers could actually learn from this experience and know that the captain has put faith in them, and so they should actually put forward and try and deliver when that time comes.
Fans out there, another disappointing performance by the West Indies, batting first against India in the first T20 match, scoring 157 for 7. India making light work of that chase, scoring 162 for 4 of 18 overs and 1 ball. It was an easy run chase for them, winning by 6 wickets. Fans out there, we would love to hear from you. What's your thoughts on the performance of the West Indies in this ODI? What them should I do differently? Who them need to drop for the next match? Just leave all those comments in the comment section below, and always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe, and to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle with Ray and I signing out. Be blessed.